McDonald, and I'm a middle school reading teacher. And I am going to speak with teachers today about struggling readers and what students think teachers should be doing to help struggling readers in the classroom at the secondary level. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, or the NAEP, approximately 1 in 4 students in the 12th grade who have not already dropped out of high school are still reading at below basic levels, while only 1 student in 20 reads at an advanced level. And students who are still struggling with reading in the middle or high school levels are not usually very motivated to learn to read. In fact, they're often going to do almost anything they can to avoid reading instruction. So I spoke to 6 different high school students, and I asked them first, what do you see daily in the classroom with their peers who can't read, and how do they struggle? They said, I see them struggle when they have to read out loud. The teachers don't rush them, though, however, when they do read aloud. And that students struggle with the vocabulary used in books, and then with pauses after each sentence or after a comma. Some kids struggle with long words. It just seems like they read the first couple letters and guess on the rest. Research says that students that struggle in the classroom can't read as fast as their peers. And one thing, I did ask my adult daughter, that's 25, who struggled with reading, and she said she didn't like reading because she reads so slowly. And when I asked her why that made a difference, she said she just gets tired of reading something because it takes too long and that she can't remember once she's read it. So the students, when I went back to the students and talked to them about this, they said that the teachers need to just allow them as much time as they need, allow struggling readers as much time as they need in the classroom to read. Who cares if it means that the slower readers won't cover as much as needs to be covered? If they feel comfortable reading in the classroom, allow them the time to read. Another thing that I found as I was doing my research is that students fear they'll have to read out loud and others will laugh at them. And when I spoke to the students about this, they said that the teachers should allow reading to be voluntary, and that those students who feel comfortable reading in class should, and those who don't want to shouldn't be made to have to do it. And they also said to make sure that they saw a lot of teachers reading one-on-one with students where they were more comfortable, and that would help them ease some stress. Another point that research made was they expect to be tested on what they read and then fail the test, of course. And that would be the Matthew effect. You know, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because those that fail constantly feel like they're going to fail. And the students said they understand that testing is important, but that struggling students need to have the opportunity to succeed and just enjoy reading, and that they'll never get any better at reading if they don't read. And if they constantly feel like they're going to fail what they're reading, they aren't going to read. So they want teachers to understand that struggling students and struggling readers need the opportunity to just read for enjoyment. Research said they always get put in the slow group, which makes them feel stupid. And after speaking to students, after interviewing them, they said that instead of grouping them by skill level, to put them together. And they said they do that a lot in the classroom, and that it makes everybody feel comfortable because the struggling readers are helped by the more skilled readers, and they feel more comfortable that way. My second question was, who helps readers who struggle in the classroom, and what is done to help those students? They said sometimes the teachers work with students who struggle with reading while the rest of us do the independent work. And when I asked them about that, they said that they'll do a type of intervention, or they'll reteach some things for those students who are struggling, and then the others will do some independent work or some more challenging work. And sometimes other kids help them with the reading part and explain what a word means or how it works in a sentence. And I think this goes back to the grouping, to where we spoke of how the struggling readers are paired or grouped with other readers who are more skilled. And they say that they explain what words mean or help with the reading, and then they help sometimes with their grammar, what the word or the context of what those words mean. They also said that usually the teacher helps them with a word if they're reading out loud. Research said that students who were identified as better readers revealed that they were sensitive to the needs of lower readers and didn't express concerns about the unfairness of having to help them in a mixed ability group. And talking to students, they said that having the mixed ability groups was a huge benefit to everybody because they had no trouble helping the struggling students, the lower ability students in their groups. In fact, they enjoyed it. The lower skilled readers were able to listen to the thought processes, sort of think aloud, and maybe understand some of it better. But the students that I spoke to really wanted teachers to understand the importance of those groups, that they felt like it helped the struggling readers more than anything else was to keep them in, or to put them in those mixed ability groupings. Research also said that students with lower reading skills expressed appreciation for mixed ability groups because they could readily then obtain help in identifying words or understand what they were reading, which means that when there's 25 kids in the class, from what the students said, if they could, in those mixed ability groups, the struggling readers were able to get help right away. Whereas they may have to wait for a teacher and then lose their train of thought or not be able to comprehend what's going on. But when they spoke with a student in their mixed ability group, then they were able to comprehend exactly what was going on. I asked the students to tell me about peers who can read in the class but choose not to do, and what they see with them daily in the classroom. They said they just sit back and watch others read. When they do get called on, they read, but not at the pace that they can read at. Sometimes they act like they can't read just so they don't have to. And also they said because the new freshmen, or the freshmen have new teachers that don't know them very well, they don't push them because they don't know them. And some say they just don't like to read, or they don't see a point in reading. They'd rather do something else. They also said that they had no interest in what was being read, so they just didn't want to read it. Research says that they have no interest in the material that they read, and students wanted to make sure I understood that students need choices, and that teachers need to find out what students are interested in, and then help them find something that they want to read. Sometimes it just takes that spark to help a student want to enjoy reading or begin enjoying reading when we help them find something that they enjoy. So students really wanted teachers to understand the importance of finding students' interest, especially struggling readers, and helping them find something to enjoy. So in conclusion, after speaking to around I think there were 6 students at the high school level, they wanted teachers to understand the importance of mixed ability groups. They didn't say that, but of grouping struggling students with more skilled students. They feel like because the class size, that they were able to help students more readily than the teacher was when it came to maybe sounding out a word or figuring out what a word meant in context. And I believe that the lower skilled reader it's very beneficial for them because they can hear the skilled reader's thought processes and their fluency, and they'll benefit in the long run from that. And they also wanted teachers to understand the importance of choices, and to help find students' interests, struggling students' interests, and that if they allow voluntary reading in the classroom instead of picking on someone that maybe is uncomfortable, that they'll begin to blossom and want to read more in the classroom.